So businesses pre-COVID in media entertainment, right? Movies, production, theaters, right? Will they start? Obviously, they will start. Uh, uh, how long, how fast shooting will happen? We don't know. They are. If you really see, you are watching all the repeat shows because there is no inventory left with anyone, right? On TVs or movies or OTT players as well. There is no shooting happening at all. However, OTT is the business to be in, right? All of us in the last 2 months have watched almost every serial on Netflix or on Suniliv or on Voot or whatever, right? What is the career for me? The career for me is many things within that, right? So if I'm in the digital media business, the career for me is content management. I don't know if every one of you understand content management, but how do I put the right content at the right time so people get interested in, right? You only click on the next ad when you feel the content is very, very exciting. Second is, how do I monetize the platforms, right? So these guys are not running Netflix for free, right? You get the skip ad in every Netflix or YouTube that is being paid for. There is a proper science on how to monetize platforms. Now that's a career you should be looking at, right? That, if I work on OTT as a business, and if I work on career that I'm specializing on understanding how to monetize platforms and how to bring more and more advertisements and media to OTT, then I'm actually building my career in a very different way, right? Second business, event management, large events. A lot of people here, want to make a career in event management. Very good career pre-COVID, right? Where social distancing was not a challenge that time. However, for the next 1 year, it's going to be a big challenge, right? To become an event manager, but you can't, if you have to follow social distancing, events will not happen for a long time, right? What will happen is 100% people want to talk with each other like we are talking today. So there will be a lot of webinars, there will be a lot of online events. To do and run these events on a large scale, again, you need to understand how content works. What sells and what engages people to be on the call for an hour, right? I'm speaking here, but someone would have switched off his video, someone would have switched off his audio, but if you have the right content and you understand how to publish the right content, there is a huge career that can be built around that, right? Third is advertising business and out of home business and media business. Very, very big business, right? Which we call it an agency business. But the agency business was built on a lot of media being sold physically. What is now going to happen is all the money that is being spent on TV. So, for example, if I'm paying Ayushman Khurrana as my brand ambassador for whatever 20 crore rupees, I would give that money more to Google and Facebook to do media on digital only. So that essentially tells me that there is a future for digital marketing big, right? Because all the money now is going to shift to the digital media and not to the physical media, right? I don't need every time a Ranbir Kapoor to sell a Pepsi to me. Maybe when I'm watching a movie, I need a Pepsi ad to come on Netflix, right? So that is the very fundamental basics of digital marketing. And it can go very, very deep, right? And that is obviously, in my view, one of the best skills that you should acquire now. While digital marketing be very, very simple, it can be also very, very deep. Fourth is, in our industry, media and entertainment doesn't survive without marketing, right? Now, marketing was based on intuition and based on what I feel I wanted to target, right? What is the future of marketing? It's completely data-driven. So, just to give you an example, what do you mean by data-driven is that you are an insurance company and, you put on Facebook that I like, Yahoo, I got a kid. Okay, then obviously as a marketing person, you are the best person to buy a child plan from me, right? So you guys must have seen whenever you put something which is very, very specific to your personal life, you get an ad which is relevant to that, right? So if I say that I got a child, in 2 minutes you get an ad from an insurance company saying that why don't you buy this child plan? What is exactly happening there, right? People are actually trying to drive. They are trying to collect your information, whether right or wrong, that's a separate question. But they are trying to make sure that the sale happens. Okay, so if I don't have a child and if you tell me that buy a child plan, obviously I'm not interested in. But when I go to Facebook and say, look, I got a child and he's very cute, obviously I know that you will be the first person to target to buy an insurance plan for the children. So what is happening in marketing is clearly it's going to happen in two things, right? Which my manager tells me is pipe and personalization. So pipe is basically everything that will be driven through technology and everything will be personalized. What skills you need? How do you know that you pushed something on Facebook, right? You need to be a data scientist. Now I can put something in Hindi. Arey mujhe bachcha hua, bahut maza aaya. I can put something in Gujarati. I can put something in some other language. I can just say yippee. Now there needs to be a logical way of converting those unstructured data to a structured data and then running my marketing around or advertising around that, right? So there will be a lot of requirements of data scientists and data developers. In fact, data science is called the future of business now, because while we know how to look at structured data in Excel, but there is a lot of unstructured data that is lying around in the world, right? And how do I convert that into cognitive business? So the way we communicate is not structured, right? I speak whatever I want to. I sometimes mingle Hindi, whatever I want to, right? The way I've been brought up. So there is a big future for data scientists going forward. There is a big future for data developers, right? Because there will be a lot of businesses within media and entertainment which will be data driven. So one of the classic business in media and entertainment which is completely data driven is what is Netflix. Netflix sees what you watched and then it tells you, because you watched this, I think you like this. Okay. In fact, it shows a very different screen for me who has watched Games of Thrones. It shows me very different thing than Samir who might have watched Asur, whatever, right? Something else. It will show it is a completely data driven platform. Everyone has a separate Netflix recommendations coming. And that is going to be the future for entertainment as well, right? Everyone is going to think on that lines, that what do you watch more? And now if you are watching Game of Thrones, you probably are not going to buy a low brand product, right? You probably would buy a very high end product. So then the marketers will say, look, in this entertainment business, Netflix is doing very well. And Samir is watching Game of Thrones every time, or Milind is watching Game of Thrones every time. He's a high end customer. We will only sell a Rolex to him. We will not sell him a ITC Atta. You know, now the point I'm making, see how the whole chain is moving in our industry, right? And how it will move everywhere as well. And finally, what is media and entertainment, right? It's part of consumer journey. Consumer journey of watching movies, going to theaters, going to events, going to advertising, doing media. We are all part of a very big thing called consumerism, right? Old days, there was a saying that you go to a retail store and if a father goes to a retail store, you put two things together. You put a diaper and a beer together. In US, the father goes to buy, grocery for his child and his family once a week, or sometimes the mother doesn't go, but the father goes. But they used to put a beer and a diaper together because when he buys diaper, he will also buy a beer normally. So in US, it's a very common concept. It's called a diaper beer concept. That was thinking as far as physical consumerism is concerned. Now you put the same thing in digital consumerism. Will you put a diaper and a beer head together? Never. It will never happen, right? I have seen on Times of India that there has been a terrorist attack, and next to it there has been an ad, come to our program and have fun. Now that is not correct, right? There is on one side I'm reading something very, very negative. On next to it you put an ad which is saying come and have fun. So the way a consumer will think on digital is going to be very, very different from you think in a physical world, right? And specifically for a media and entertainment, right? This becomes critical for us, that I understand consumers in the digital world of how they will consume media and how they will consume entertainment. If I understand that, then what will I need, right? I will need something very close to an e-commerce expertise, right? Or marketplaces saying that, look, what has Amazon been successful, right? It has been successful in understanding how consumers think on digital channels, right? So even those kind of skills, like if you go to an OTT player, he will normally hire people from Amazon and Flipkart. Why would they do it, right? Flipkart is a retail company and Suniliv is an OTT company. The point is both are in the business of platforms, right? And both understand how platforms work. So they want to acquire people who understand platforms. So again, pre-COVID and post-COVID, the reason I just put it this morning, that the skills are the same, but it's just with a tinge of difference. And if you do the right courses, the potential is very, very high for a lot of us, right? And none of these skills, from content management to digital marketing to e-commerce expertise, I don't think the people have been laid off who are good at this. People have normally who've been hurt the most are people who are doing physical work, right? Because people have realized that maybe they are not required and we need to automate a lot of things. So super relevant even post-COVID as well.